Good morning, my friends. It's natural joy again today. I just got back from the gym, and so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be a good YouTuber and make a video today because I kind of been slacking on you guys, and I'm sorry for that. But my daughter had her graduation party this last weekend, and that just, as you can imagine, overloaded me with things to do, and then the worry of people and how they were gonna get along. And it all went really well. It was a very small gathering with just family and a few close friends, and it was good. But today we're talking about a viewer question, and I don't know if it was really a question or a statement where it's easier to not share. And I know it's a very INFJ type thing to do what I have been doing for the last year and several months, come on a public platform, talk about my troubles, talk about what's going on in my head, and share my life and my heart with other people, especially with people that I don't really know, or, that anybody can watch this. Some of you I feel like I know very well just from our interactions and comments. But so thinking about this, why is it easier for us to not share, or why do we have a tendency to be a more private person? And then sometimes there's a contradiction there, because there's sometimes where I will say something very personal to someone that I just met, especially if they are sharing. And I have a tendency to draw that out of people where they will share very personal things with me, even though I just laid eyes on them. It's easier to not share for many reasons for me. One is because I don't want to burden other people. Even though I tend to carry the burden for many people, even people that I don't know, even people that I just run across in a public place and I pick up their emotions, even though I tend to carry the burden for them and take those things home with me in my heart, I don't necessarily want to lay that burden onto other people. So I don't always share really what's going on, or many times I don't. And because if I share and then they are feeling for me and worrying for me, then I worry for them that they're worrying for me, and that I said too much and that I am too much, and that my little petty spoiled American problems are really not that bad. And I don't have any right to complain. I don't have any right to feel bad. Those are the feelings that I feel when I share with someone else, especially if they show some compassion back to me, or if they contact me later and ask me how it's going. And then the other part is, I don't always trust people. As you guys know, because I've talked about that many times, I don't always trust that people have my best interest at heart. I don't always trust that I can share the things that are on my heart and that they will be taken in the way that they are intended. I worry that things will be used against me. I worry that things will be shared with other people that will use them against me. Even though I've been sharing very personal things on this YouTube platform, and it's been very healing, and I have learned that sharing my own pain can help other people. Sharing my own pain can show other people that you can get through these things, that other people deal with this, that you're not alone. So in a way, sharing my own pain is for other people, as silly as that sounds. And the other part is, I feel like there's four, and of course I didn't write any notes, so here I'm going just rambling on. The other part is, and this is INFJ mantra, of course, I don't always feel like people are always going to understand the way that I think and feel and hold things. If I try to explain what's going on up here, will they understand? Or will they pass judgment? Or will they try to just console me. And that's what I end up getting a lot from a lot of people, is just console me. And people are in the business of telling you that everything's going to be okay, when actually what you want is to have your feelings validated. Or what I want is to have my feelings validated. Not necessarily be given a fix for them, although sometimes I'm looking for that, but most of the time I'm not. I don't want people to misunderstand and feel pity for me. So then you don't share. I don't want the other person that I'm sharing with, especially if it's someone that's close to me and that I love, to take blame for the way that I am. Because the way that I am is the way I was created and is a result of things that I have done or were done to me. Sins I committed and sins that were committed against me. Some of the ways that I feel and think are a result of that. And I remember being told as a child that you don't share what goes on in this house. And now I did not come from a house of physical or sexual abuse or anything, but I do remember hearing that. You don't talk about what happens in your family. So that gets repeated in my head. And I know that's an unhealthy thing. But when you're sharing with somebody outside your family, that kind of comes back in there. And then I can hear my dog whining, so I'm going to let her back in and I'll come back. Also, when, things inside my head make sense. And sometimes when they come out of my mouth, they don't. And I also don't like someone else having, or I'm trying to figure out, like mirroring or reflecting my emotions back to me. Sometimes I feel like I want to be an island to myself, self-sufficient. I don't need any help. I can do it myself. And I know that's not the right way. I know that I need people. But even though I, desperately and very much want deep connections with people, if I show my whole self and they connect to me, there's some fear there. And then I want to pull back, because then if they're connecting to me and showing their whole self, then I feel like I did something wrong. Like I shouldn't have that deep of a relationship with a human. And I don't really know how to explain that part, but there's a fear there. And it's not necessarily a trust issue, I don't think, because if I'm going to share those kinds of things and have that kind of connection to a person, I've already decided that I trust them. But there's a fear there. Fear of maybe being manipulated or used and then thrown out like trash, because that is the pattern in my younger life. To be, abandoned. Loved and then abandoned. Loved and then abandoned. And but sharing your heart like I've been doing and peeling off the layers of armor that I've been doing for the last year exposes that painful stuff on the inside. And when I wake up in the morning, that painful stuff is right there. And that's a new thing to me in the last few weeks. Because one of my good friends showed me how to do that in the morning, when you wake up, your mind is going so much. And I realized that if I don't immediately put my armor up and guard my heart right away in the morning, that painful stuff is exposed. And what I see is all of the, I don't even know the right words to use. I don't want to say wickedness, but it's all of the bad things that I see about myself. And when you connect to another person, they tend to tell you all the good things because they can't read your mind. So they tend to connect and tell you all the good things about you. And that's very uncomfortable for me. For me to hear things like, you're a good person, you're kind, you're loving, you're, all of these things. It's very uncomfortable for me to hear, because when I hear those things, on earth we say thank you, but my brain says, no, you're selfish, you hate yourself, you're wicked, you're broken, you're a pretty package with a dark inside. And I don't like to feel those things. I don't want to think about that. I want to see myself the way my Creator sees me. I want to see myself the way that other people see me. And I'm trying, and I'm asking for that from Him, so that I can stop seeing myself as this broken, lonesome, abandoned little girl, because I'm not. I am, I'm a grown-up woman and I'm getting much better. But I don't know if that answers the question, why is it easier to not share? But that's all my thoughts and my rambling on it. So I hope you guys have a great day, and yeah, I'm going to have a good day today. So live and love out of the way you were created.